everybody. It's episode 22 of the Comic Book Cover. I'm Aaron.
I'm Rob.
And we're here to tell you about the comics coming out the week of 4/20, 2016.
Right.
So, Aftershock Comics. I'm going to go in alphabetical this time because usually I do Marvel first. But Aftershock Comics. New dogs in town. You read any of their stuff?
No, I haven't read it yet, but I've heard a lot of good things about it.
Garth Ennis has got a title on there.
Yeah, Garth Ennis, great writer.
Brian Azzarello, An American Monster. That's the one I'm reading.
Another great writer.
Love Brian Azzarello. Well, with Aftershock, we got Black Eye Kids #1. Francisco Francavilla is doing one of the covers, too.
Amazing cover artist.
Love that guy, man. His run with Scott Snyder in Detective Comics, highly recommended. Moving on, we got Boom Studios. The one that's a notable mention on this one, of course, Lumberjanes is kind of big, but I'm not a big reader on that one. But Lumberjanes #25 is coming out, but Big Trouble in Little China #23. That's one that I've noticed one of our subscribers is getting.
Yeah, that was a great movie.
Dark Horse, we got BPRD Hell on Earth #140. Dark Horse Presents #21. I wasn't even aware they were still doing that comic.
Yeah, they're on, I think, volume 3 of it. Anything Hellboy, great. I mean, especially if Mike Mignola has attached his name to it, you cannot go wrong with BRPD or any Hellboy related titles. They're just amazing.
Leaving Megalopolis, Surviving Megalopolis #4 of 6. Once again, I've talked about this one a little bit. Gail Simone, I love that writer. She was awesome on Birds of Prey and Batgirl, and this is one of her creator-owned stories.
That's what I was about to say. Birds of Prey, one a classic storyline.
And speaking of Birds of Prey, you know that I know you know because we both looked at it. Rebirth, we're getting Batgirl and the Birds of Prey, and it's going to be my favorite team of Helena Bertinelli, Huntress, Black Canary, and
Rebirth,
of course,
I am totally excited about. This is a great chance to jump on staple titles, what I like to call the Trinity: Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. Right now, Wonder Woman is one of the best, most consistent comics being put out, with Meredith Finch and David Finch as the artist.
Of course, before that we had Cliff Chang and Brian Azzarello.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just been non-stop with Wonder Woman. They've taken a character that like everybody knows about, but not a lot of people read, and turn it into a great series. I mean, a great comic. But now everybody will have a chance to, like, if you're afraid of like those like big numbered issues, then it's a great time to jump on. I think Detective Comics is renumbering itself, and Action Comics as well.
Both are going back to the original numbers, which I think is extra cool because they'll be the first comics to be hitting 1,000. That's what's next. Action Comics #51, Part 3 of Super League. You read Batman Superman. I missed that one.
Yeah.
Superman 51 is freaking great, though.
Superman 51 had me like palms sweating. It was just not a lot of dialogue, not a lot of writing. What Tomasi did write, like, was enough said.
It was very all-star Superman.
Very all-star Superman. The artwork, I can't remember who the artist was.
Michael Yanin, and I'm a big fan of his stuff.
I mean, this was a pure book. I mean, a really, really good storyline to jump on.
I think Superman might be able to kind of jump ahead in the New 52 right now as far as the best book coming out.
Yeah.
I mean, Wonder Woman, Justice League have pretty well held it down since the beginning.
Right.
But
yeah, Superman picked up steam towards the end.
He's written I like the way Henry Cavill plays him because it's kind of like the all-star Superman version where he doesn't have to say much, but his body language and his actions say a whole lot about who he is as Superman.
Absolutely.
Aquaman 51. I hate to say I'm a little behind on this, and not because it's not good, because Dan Abnett is one of my favorite writers, and he's been knocking it out with Aquaman, probably the best since Jeff Johns left, and I love Jeff Johns. I would have never liked Aquaman if it wasn't for Jeff Johns.
I highly recommend picking up Aquaman and then convincing me to buy the book. It's just because I'm not familiar with the character.
He's never really the coolest character.
Yeah, he never really
Him
was
and
the coolest.
Namor.
And a lot of people have tried, but if anybody can do it, then
Jeff Johns is
Jeff
the man
Johns
as far
yeah.
as making an uninteresting character interesting. Also, check out his Hawkman stuff because he made Hawkman the coolest he'd ever been. One of my favorites that I don't get to read is Astro City. We got number 34 coming out. Love the covers. Alex Ross. You got Kurt Busiek on it. Classic writer. Superman runs.
It's a classic team. I haven't read that book since the early 2000s when it first came out. I don't know what volume they're on now, but it was a fantastic book. I mean, it was very consistent, and we're not seeing a lot of consistency right now in comics, but they're bringing it back around.
Bringing it back. I'm hoping Rebirth is definitely going to be a nod towards getting back to consistency. We got Clean Room number 7. Once again, another Gail Simone comic. Great writer. You should check it out. This is Vertigo. We got Dr. Fate number 11. I'm a big fan of Paul Levitzon. I've said before, I just can't get into this book because of the art. Sometimes comic companies like to go in this very Sunday morning paper or Calvin and Hobbes-ish kind of art, like the Scotty Young thing. I'm just not into that. But Dr. Fate's an awesome character. And Paul Levitz is a great writer.
I was about to say, Dr. Fate is one of my favorite. The deeper in the DC well you go, like you
the
get
B and C characters,
the B and C characters, you get these great writers that would be a good example. Like
Denny O'Neill's The Question. I would say Denny O'Neill's The Question is a great series that kind of goes under the radar.
Yeah.
Or in more recent times, J.T. Kroll's Captain Atom.
Yeah.
Captain Atom was a great story.
Great story.
I said it 100 times, I'll say it 100 more. You should have read Captain Atom. Flash number 50. I'm not as big on Vendetti's story, but Jesus Marino's doing a great job in the art. But it's really about the new team coming on in Rebirth with Joshua Williamson, the writer of Nailbiter and Birthright. Harley's Little Black Book number 3, which is kind of like Harley's Brave and the Bold comic, which has been pretty cool.
I'm loving it. I'm loving Palamonti's art. I think that's pronounced his name right.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I'm always butchering an artist and writer's name.
Yeah.
So I'll apologize ahead of time if I do.
I just started picking it up, and I bought it for my daughter, and I ended up keeping it for myself. So.
Injustice: Gods Among Us, Year 5, number 8. Josh is the one that really fills us in the most on this one. But I will say I read up to Year 3, and it was one of the best stories I've read, especially when Tom Taylor is writing. The game story was really cool, and this is everything that led up to the game. Superman turning bad. Justice League Darkseid War Power of the Gods hardcover is coming out. We got Legends of Tomorrow number 2, which, man, Len Wein is writing the Metal Man. That's just as cool as cool gets.
Yeah, we still have copies of issue 1. I think it's going to be one of those books that, like, people are going to come back to. So if you're, like, out there for collecting for value, it is a $7.99 book. But I see it being like, you know,
between Metal Men, you got Metamorpho. Jerry Conway's writing Firestorm, which I'm not a huge Firestorm fan. He has flames coming out of his head, but Jerry Conway's writing, that makes it a little different.
Yeah, I mean, these are guys that are like have been around since the beginning, and Len Wein, he can, like in House of Secrets 92, the first Swamp Thing. The man has gone through something in life.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, he is. A lot of people give Alan Moore credit where he.
If Len Wein hadn't have done what he did, then Alan Moore wouldn't have had anything to work with. And
yeah,
that's not
exactly.
taken away from Alan
That's
Moore.
not taken away from Alan Moore, but yeah, Len Wein like did an intense like Swamp Thing. So, I read his Metal Man story and Legends of Tomorrow, and it's.
We were talking about B and C characters of DC that you could get into.
About B and C.
Yeah,
this would be a
Metal Man.
Good introduction to them.
Grant Morrison needs to do a Metal Man series. One of my favorite books coming out, Martian Manhunter number 11. Number 10 is one of the coolest Martian Manhunter things I've ever read. They did change the origin. Fanboys, don't get your panties in a wad. It is a very cool change. Very cool change. Poison Ivy Cycle of Life and Death number 4 of 6. We got Red Thorn number 6 coming from Vertigo. Robin Son of Batman number 11, which is a good book that I didn't finish, but Patrick Gleason's doing the writing and art. Can't go wrong. Ray Fox did an issue too. I like him too.
I've heard a lot of great things about Robin Son of Batman.
It has been a really good book. Let's see, what do we got? American Alien #6.
What can you say? Like, this is probably one of the best, I would say, since John Byrne's little mini run, Man of Steel mini run, when after the Infinite Crisis.
I think it's even Grant Morrison good.
Yeah, it is.
It really is, and that's a huge thing.
That's a big, because I mean, Grant Morrison, like, I typically
God
buy all
Amongst
of his
Men,
books.
Michael Puckett.
Yeah.
That's his. We got little names: Jason Can't Do No Wrong, Aaron, and Grant. God Amongst Men, Morrison. We need to give Max Landis a name at some point. But then again, he has a big enough personality anyway.
Yeah,
Max Landis.
he's pretty wild, but I can't say enough good things about the book. On top of that, like, wall hanger cover art too. I mean, I think we have a Frank Quietly like cover coming up, or a whole book.
I think
he's doing a
Jacques
whole
does
book.
one too, doesn't he?
Yeah, Jacques.
One of my favorite artists.
Yeah, it's
It's great stuff. Ryan Suck does all the covers. Love his covers.
Come in and bug Josh to reorder some.
Yeah.
Reorder
If you're not
some.
reading American Alien, you should be.
Yeah, you should
especially
be.
if you're not a Superman fan.
Yeah, it's turned Superman on its
We
head.
got another good Superman book. Speaking of great Superman books, Superman Lois and Clark #7 is coming out.
Yeah, Lee Weeks.
Lee Weeks and Dan Jurgens, and I wish Lee Weeks was going over with Dan Jurgens on Action Comics, but man, Dan Jurgens has done such a great job bringing the pre-New 52 Superman into the New 52 universe. I love what the reaction of him and Lois. That's one thing that's been missing. I will agree with people. I still love the New 52 Superman, but maybe the Lois in the New 52 is not as good as the old Lois. I would agree with that statement.
Yeah, she's a little. I can't really put the right word to it.
It's just not the same.
It's not. Yeah, it's not the same. But she's still as tenacious as ever. Like, that's for sure. I mean,
That's
she
the
did-
relationship between her and Clark. Something's just off. with it. Even as just friends, it's still.
Yeah, just friends. Like, but maybe that tension's supposed to be there. You know,
And maybe that there's
like-
an unfinished story.
Yeah, there's an unfinished story,
Rumor
something
being-
going on, like, because Wonder Woman and Superman aren't really together anymore.
Yeah.
So,
One of those things that didn't quite play out the way I thought it would too. It wasn't terrible. I'm not knocking it. Just saying I was expecting a little more repercussions from that breakup.
Right.
But we're talking about great books coming out. We had another one, Titans Hunt #7. Have you been reading that at all?
I haven't been reading it, but our good
Dan
friend
Abnett.
Joe Valls from living in San Francisco has said nothing but great things about
Great
this
things.
book.
We get
So-
Nightwing back for one. That's a great thing. We got Donna Troy back in the Titans. It's all like they're getting memories of something that they didn't think happened. So it's kind of like merging the pre-New 52 universe into the New 52, which it should have been that way from the beginning, because that is the Titans group.
My understanding is that if you loved what George Perez did, then you're gonna love Titans Hunt.
If you like the Perez Wolfman run, you would definitely love Titans Hunt. It's a throwback to that for sure, and that was my favorite. That's, to me, though, between that and the Jeff Johns Teen Titans are the best Titans runs, for sure. Last book, but certainly not least, because we were just saying how this is the best book of the whole New 52. Wonder Woman. We're coming to the end of Meredith Finch and David Finch's run.
I'm excited about this one. This is like I said, this is the most consistent book being put. Well, along with Batman, Greg Capullo and Scott Snyder, it's just not. What's going to happen to Zeke?
Almost,
we just got to battle with Ares to try to get his title of God of War back.
And it's almost as if even Wonder Woman's starting to question whether she should still be the God of War. You know, she has that certain confidence in herself, but there's been enough things to happen lately to make her question it, I think.
I can't get enough of this book. And before Brian Azzarello started, I didn't really care about Wonder Woman.
Which is sad because she is a
Because
template.
Yeah, and I
Archetype.
thought of her as a joke, and she's man, no, I ate crow on this one. I really did.
We all have to eat crow sometimes. I did it
Yeah.
last week. Greg Rucka's run from the pre-New 52 universe I would highly recommend. So we're out of that. Dynamite Entertainment has a couple of things. Golden Key Alliance is putting out another variant cover. But most notably, James Bond number 6.
Okay. If you follow me on Facebook or if you follow me on Tumblr, then you know that like there is not enough great things I can say. No one, not even Ian Fleming, could write a better. And these are big words.
These are huge words.
These
but
are better than Warren Ellis.
I
Warren
really can't
Ellis,
argue, and I'm a big Ian Fleming fan.
Yeah.
Big James Bond fan.
Yeah, I mean,
I dedicated a whole episode just to this book.
he just knows it. I mean, he built his way from Transmetropolitan to Global Frequency. He's done plenty of like romance. Planetary, excellent book. He was born to do this, to write this book.
He really was.
Like
Injection, another good one.
I hope it is an ongoing thing.
It is.
I hope that Warren Ellis stays with it. Like, I hope we get some like really, really good. I would love it if he wrote a James Bond movie.
He should. And this book's been so good, it should actually put his name in the hat, because there's some scenes in this comic that were just mind-blowing. And I believe this is, if not this issue, then the next issue is the last part to this story, and they're starting a new story. But this is the name of this particular story, while the next one picking up has a different name. But it's still, Ian Fleming's James Bond 007, written by Warren Ellis. We need to give him a name, too. Somewhere in there. Moving on, I'm going to run through IDW a little quick. We got Back to the Future number 7. Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency, A Spoon Too Short number 3. I've heard this is a really good book. Haven't read it, though. Godzilla Oblivion number 2. Jesse can tell you about this one. Star Trek The Manifest Destiny number 1, which is going with the movie universe. We got Starfleet Academy number 5 of 5. Transformers number 52, and this one sounds pretty cool. Transformers versus G.I. Joe number 12, which is my 2 favorite toy lines as a kid, or 2 of my favorite toy lines.
So you ran past one real quick.
What did I miss?
No, you didn't miss it. The Starfleet Academy.
Star Trek Starfleet
Yeah.
Academy number 5 of 5.
Yeah, I am on a huge I didn't like Star Trek growing up. My parents kind of made me watch it, and there's a lot to be said in those stories.
Most definitely.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm curious about that one. Just get too many comics, and I can't pick them all up.
I know. That's the only thing. But I think I'm probably I might have more to say about Star Trek, because there's a lot of like thought and philosophy like thrown in there that like it's way ahead of its time. Like with like all science fiction, that you have so much like hidden politico, or just the whole story is like, I think, which relates to what we're dealing with right now, xenophobia, like the clashing of cultures.
Gene Roddenberry was ahead of his time.
Absolutely.
We got Image Comics, Aloha Hawaiian Dick number 1 of 4. Chew Demon Chicken Pollo number 1. This is the end of this little mini story with Pollo. If you've never read Chew, the Pollo thing is hilarious. I don't have time to even get into it. It'd take a whole video just to describe how hilarious this is. John Layman stuff, really good. Cry Havoc number 4. East of West number 25. One of the books I wish I'd gotten into, because I love Robert Hickman stuff. Huck number 6. Been a great book. I'm actually 1 issue behind, but this is the last part of this story.
I've been wanting to jump on Huck. That's Mark Waid, right?
Mark Millar.
Mark Millar.
Yep. Mark Waid has a...
What is his image title?
I can't believe I
I
don't
thought it was
remember this.
Huckbusters.
We might come to it soon. Something like that. Where is it? Invincible number 127. Lazarus Sourcebook number 1. I love this book. Mirror number 3. Savage Dragon number 213. One of the original Image characters. Snowfall.
And consistent too.
Very consistent.
Savage Dragon
Eric
is one of
Larson.
the Eric Larson. I think he might end up being the next Dave Sim. If you're not familiar with the Cerebus books, which you absolutely should be, because it's one of comic books' independent classics. Still the only person to write and draw 300 straight issues, and went on for 30 years, I believe.
Wow.
And Eric Larson's catching up on there. Another Image title that I'm not seeing on the list, but I can't recommend enough is Monstrous. get it.
Snowfall
But
3, Switch 3, and last but not least, Tokyo Ghost number 6 for Commander. Have you read any Tokyo Ghost?
No, I haven't read
Very
it.
good comic. You should check it out. I think this is the beginning of a new story, too. It's a good jumping on point. Marvel. It's Marvel, Tom.
Oh.
Here we go. We got all new, all different Avengers Volume 1 Magnificent 7 coming out. This is actually a really great storyline. We were just talking about Mark Waid. Alex Ross covers. All new Hawkeye number 6. I haven't read it, but it's Jeff Lemire.
Jeff Lemire, I mean, he is another great one, or a great one in the making, right there.
Yeah, definitely. Sweet Tooth. Can't say enough good stuff about that. Speaking of writers that are writers in the making, this writer's so good, he makes me want to read Ant-Man. I've never been a huge Ant-Man fan.
Jeff Lemire.
No, Nick Spencer.
Nick
Astonishing
Spencer.
Ant-Man number 7.
I could do a whole thing on Nick Spencer. Like, I have never been like a huge Marvel fan. Well, at least in the past like decade. But Nick Spencer brought me back in, like with the whole Avengers standoff storyline.
Oh, yeah.
I am so digging this. Like,
Convo between Bucky and Steve, man.
yeah,
It's Quentin Tarantino good.
It is. In fact, we were just saying that the other day. The conversation that Bucky and Steve Rogers have in the old diner where they hung out before their super serum days, like great dialogue. I mean, just great dialogue.
And since we're speaking of these characters, you might as well go on with Captain America: Road to War number 1. This is a one-shot. It's going to kind of lead us into Civil War 2. I'm a big Steve Rogers fan, so I'll probably pick it up just because it's Steve Rogers. Also, Captain America, Sam Wilson number 8. Once again, Nick Spencer. Have you read number 7 yet?
I haven't read number 7 yet, but
I mean, man.
what I read the last, I guess this was probably in Standoff Alpha 1. You know, everybody has been complaining about Sam Wilson being Captain America.
We were talking about me eating crow. I ate crow last week on this.
And I'm just excited that Nick Spencer wrote into that story about how not just us as fans, but in the actual MCU, like, everybody is upset as well. That is, like, really clever writing.
My only thing, before is that Falcon's a good enough character on his own, but the truth be told, it probably is hard for Marvel to sell a Falcon book, and by doing this, maybe we can get a Falcon book with Sam Wilson again.
I think it'll happen.
I think it will too. I don't think he's going to stay as Captain America. I still think wings on Captain America look silly, and Steve Rogers should have the round shield. But Nick Spencer's done such a great job with this book. I have to eat crow and say that I like Sam Wilson as Captain America right now.
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah.
I don't care what you say, fanboy. Speaking of fanboys, we're running into some fanboy favorites. Before that, we got Dark Tower, The Drawing of the Three, Bitter Medicine number 1 of 5, Stephen King's thing. But fanboy stuff, Deadpool number 10, Deadpool and the Mercs number 3 of 5. And we also have a trade, Deadpool World's Greatest, Volume 1, Millionaire with a Mouth trade paperback. That's a Deadpool. What if they're trying to say something like
Yeah, Deadpool. They should make a movie.
Yeah, they should. They should make a movie.
They should make a Deadpool movie.
And just, maybe make it rated R, because I bet it'd go over well.
Yeah, maybe, some Canadian actor like Ryan Reynolds. He did a horrible Green Lantern.
I did like him as Hal, though.
You liked him
I've
as
seen
Hal?
worse movies than Green Lantern.
Yeah.
I didn't hate him as Hal, I would say
Green
that.
Hornet.
Yeah, Green Hornet.
That was worse.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Let's not even get on that.
I'm suggesting
I was trying to forget
a
that.
Ryan Reynolds Deadpool movie. That's.
I'm suggesting, too. They should do that. I don't know why they haven't already. Extraordinary X-Men number 9. Jeff Lemire book again. I actually liked this book, just hated the art. And I've ranted about that. Where is he? He's on this poster right over here next to us. Iceman. His look is ridiculous. There he is.
We haven't had a good-looking Iceman since the Kirby days.
Most definitely.
To be honest with you.
Actually, I like the one that was, during the 80s with the really squared head.
Yeah,
and stuff.
Silvestri, Mark Silvestri did a really, really good, and Jim Lee. But yeah, in the past, gosh,
20
I can't
years?
believe it's 20 years
Yeah,
now.
20
But in the
years,
past
it's been-
20 years, like, yeah.
Guardians of Infinity #5, Haunted Mansion #2, Hawkeye and the Thunderbolts Volume 1 trade paperback, Howard the Duck #6, Hyperion #2, Marvel's Superman. Fuck off. Not really though. I mean, I've heard a lot of people say it's cool. Squadron Supreme seems like a really cool book.
I liked Squadron Sinister. That was really good.
I heard a lot of good stuff about that too. Didn't read it. We were just talking about this writer a minute ago. We got Karnak #3 coming out. Marvel First, the 1990s Volume 1 trade paperback. This is kind of an odd thing to draw attention to. I don't know if I want to draw too much attention to the 1990s. Not that all of it was bad, but it's not the greatest. You had these really fancy covers, but that was the best of the books.
Not for Marvel. 1990s was dominated by Vertigo. You know, Warren Ellis.
Yeah.
Warren Ellis.
Grant Morrison.
Grant Morrison's Animal Man.
Some Alan Moore at the
And
time.
in the Invisibles.
Oh God, The Invisible is one of my all-time favorite stories. Speaking of some favorite stuff,
Come bug Josh about ordering you some Vertigo books from the 90s. That's
most definitely, especially
you're
The
cheating
Invisibles.
yourself.
Very, you really are
You're
cheating
You're
yourself.
cheating yourself.
Grant Morrison's Doom Patrol, which book 2 will be coming out of that same time that Rebirth. One of my favorite books, man. Mighty Thor #6.
Mighty Thor. You
Jason
turned me on to Mighty Thor.
Jason Can't Do No Wrong, Aaron.
Yeah, it's another one of those books that I just didn't, whatever. And then you told me Jason Aaron's is writing it, and now I can't get enough of it. It's
One of the greatest MCU books coming out, period.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nick Spencer and Jason Aaron are the guys that definitely follow over there. Of course, Jeff Lemire, but Jeff Lemire's done a lot of stuff. But as far as guys that pretty well stuck with Marvel so far,
Yeah,
those are the two
and
guys.
They're Marvel owes them a lot.
Most definitely. It's
They
like
saved
Brubaker
Marvel.
and Ruck were doing
Yeah,
and earlier on. New Avengers #10. We got Nova #6, Obi-Wan and Anakin #4, Power Man and Iron Fist #3. I was just talking about this the other day.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I love those characters. Can't stand this book though.
Right.
That's just me. Like, if you just read it anyway, because they're great characters. But I just think, you hear a lot of Marvel guys griping about DC guys that are being taken out of context in certain movies. We won't get into deep conversations about. But this is one of those instances where I got to say that Marvel did it, and nobody's saying a dang word about it. It's like Danny Rand is the most skilled and disciplined fighter in the Marvel universe. Would you agree?
I would definitely agree.
So why does he act like Johnny Storm in this book?
I have
Ridiculous.
no idea. Yeah, I'm honestly kind of ignoring it.
Yeah, you should. It would make a great Saturday morning cartoon, though.
Well, yeah, and
But not a
maybe
good comic book.
Not a good comic.
Silk #7. A lot of people really into Silk. I loved her debut in the Spider-Man book. We were talking about this character earlier. Spider-Man and Deadpool #4 coming out. Deadpool. They should really make a Deadpool movie, don't you think?
They need to make a Deadpool movie. I mean, they are he's like the Wolverine of the 90s.
Uh-huh.
He appears in everything.
Casey and McGinnis on this book, too.
Oh, yeah.
Very good team.
And
I've liked
McGinnis
it. I just had to drop it.
Man, his early Batman Superman run was beautiful.
Very much
Very
so.
beautiful.
Jeff Loeb, man, if you have not read that, you should read that. It's the Public Enemy story. They made a great animated movie of it, too. Star Wars Vader Down trade paperback. That was an excellent Star Wars story. Starbrand and Night Mask #5. Totally Awesome Hulk #5. And one of my other favorite Marvel books, Uncanny Inhumans #7.
Uncanny Inhumans. I just posted about that on Tumblr and Facebook. Whenever comics get a little political, they can get hokey, but no, not here. This is a thinking man's comic.
Very much so. And if Black Bolt were talking as loud as me and you right now, this town would not exist.
It would not exist. As a matter of fact, there's like a little cliffhanger at the end of issue 5, if you haven't been picking it up, where he looks like he's about ready to open up his mouth.
Well, yeah, I'm a big Black Bolt fan. He's awesome.
I love the Inhumans. They're Marvel's Doom Patrol, I think.
Most definitely. So some quick notes before we head out on the regular comics. We got some Titans Entertainment Group, Doctor Who, the 11th Doctor, Year 2, number 8. Doctor Who, the 4th Doctor, number 2 of 5. And moving on down to Valiant Comics, we got Bloodshot Reborn, number 12, Jeff Lemire. Divinity 2, number 1 of 4. And Exo Man of War, number 46.
And just to jump back on the Doctor Who, if you're having trouble with girls, Doctor Who's a very good title to like
I've
pick up
noticed
and
this.
start. Like, women love Doctor Who, so
Doctor
if
Who
you're
is
having
all
trouble
about the ladies.
picking up women, just read some Doctor Who.
You know what time it is, Robert?
It must be time for the book of the week, book of the month.
You know, we
Book
kind of
of the
totally.
year.
What would your picks be of the comics we talked about, real quick, before we move on?
Uncanny Inhumans,
Mighty Thor,
the Mighty Thor, definitely.
Captain America.
Captain America.
Those would be mine.
And James Bond.
James Bond, Action Comics,
Yeah.
number 51.
Action
and Wonder Woman
Comics,
51.
yeah. Get them.
There's a lot of good books coming out this week.
Yeah, it's
that's
going to
for
be an
sure.
exciting week. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully they pay me enough money to buy them.
It's always a struggle, isn't it?
It
But
is a
we've got this
struggle.
great discount we're going to tell you about in a second.
Oh,
too.
man. You're not going to believe it.
Wow. This is the part where you hear from the vault, though. You know, we got comics from the vault.
And now, it's time for...
Right.
Blah, blah, blah. That little sound you hear. This was the pick. Get it in there. It's Thor, number 181.
Try to guess who that artist is.
Man, let's... Yeah, that artist would be none other than Neil Adams. Written by the legend himself, Stan Lee. And I know you're not as big of a Stan Lee fan.
I'm not a huge Stan Lee fan, but I've been eyeing this book because look at the price, $5,
It's a little rough.
and
It's a two.
It's a two.
It's a two,
but it's. I mean,
how many times are you going to get a book that's written by Stan Lee and drawn by Neil Adams?
yeah, exactly. You need to come and get it before I do.
Before I do, I mean, Robert and I might fight over it. We might even have a three-way dance, you know, ECW style with Josh.
Yeah, I
Bust
mean,
out the chairs and
everybody's been
tables.
eyeballing it, so I would pick that book up, man. I'd come get it. $5. You can't-
$5.
$5.
$5. And you know what? If you're already a subscriber here, you would be getting a 25% discount if you got 5 or more
25%
titles.
discount. I'm not good at math. What is that?
That's a lot.
That's what it
I'm
is,
not good
a
at
lot.
math either.
I'd see half would be $250.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
$3.
we're talking, yeah.
$3 and some change, man, just to get a Neil Adams Jack
It'd be
Kirby.
about $2, yeah. We'd be saving $3. $3.
25% off.
25. You didn't hear that. We said 25.
25% off. Like, every week, I subscribe to a lot of titles,
Same here.
and I get most of them for free if you do the math because of the 25% off.
Say if you're picking up 5 books, one of those books will pretty much be free. That's pretty much how it works out.
Yeah.
And that's pretty awesome deal. Because I
And the
need
more
that 5th
books
book.
yeah, I know,
I
right?
need that 5th book.
And then you get it off of the back issues, am I correct?
10% off the back issues if you
10%
go
off.
over to Money Tree.
10% off the back issues at Money Tree, and then what we have is 25% off in the store.
And you know, another thing we should mention too, first weekend of May, one of our favorites.
Oh man, yeah, that's right. My parents leave town. Oh no, wait, it's free comic book day.
Free comic book day. Come in, get some free comics, bring the kids. It's all free, man. You can't say no to free comics. I can't say no to free comics.
It's a good chance to sample what's coming, and since its inception, what are we doing? This is like the 11th year.
Pretty
Did it
sure it
start
is the
2005?
I've kind of lost track.
Yeah,
memory problems sometimes.
I've been collecting
Getting
comics
old.
for
It's
so
great.
long that they're all running together years
Big
wise.
blur.
But this is May 7th, right?
Yes, May 7th.
May 7th, yeah.
And also another quick note before we're out the door. We got some really cool graphic novels. We were just talking about how great this series was.
Right here, folks. Volume 1 and Volume 2. I might even walk out with them. I'll give you a chance to buy them.
Got
but
like, you know, maybe a week. Tom's the clock is ticking.
the clock is ticking.
Clock is ticking.
Brian Azzarello's, and then
Grant Morrison,
great Grant Morrison,
Our
classic book.
Jeff Johns Flash. Man, we got so much good stuff.
It is.
So,
It's
I didn't want to talk about
unbelievable.
this one because I kind of want to. Anyway,
Right?
the DC Comics Encyclopedia. I can't really get it out of here because it's kind of big and bulky. But we got Jeff Johns Green Lantern, best Green Lantern ever read. We got the Watchmen by
Second greatest maxi series ever written.
Warren Ellis, The Avengers. I mean, come on. Why wouldn't you want to buy this stuff?
Look at it. We marked it down to $10.99 too.
That's pretty cheap.
That's
for
pretty-
some Warren Ellis. goodness.
In near mint condition. This is a $25 book for $11.
Most definitely.
25% off if you're a file subscriber.
I'm Aaron.
I'm Rob.
We'll see you next week.